And we're back with another DOFLinx Future Pinball Table Mod demonstration. Today I will be showing you Iron Man Ultimate Edition, a table I just finished modding today. This one was a lot of work. There was a lot of, how could I say, layers to it. The various multi-ball modes, the jackpot modes, the bonus modes, you know, all the toys and gadgets on the table, the tons of sound effects that Slam Tilt puts into these tables is just mind-blowing. All the details and just the other little bits, and you know, it's easy to throw in just, you know, simple feedback with lights and everything else, but you know, I wanted to make this, you know, work really cool with all the different modes. So I guess there's nothing else to say except for let's get underway and show you this awesome Future Pinball table running with DOFLinx. Alright, we're set up and ready to go now. So basically, I'll point out, if you look at the bottom where my control panel is there, you'll see a flashing red light. That's my fire button. That's basically, you know, the equivalent of the punch it button or the fire it button on some pinball tables. Slam added that in to Iron Man, even though the original did not have that. And I think it's really cool because you get to use it to fire off the repulsor either at Iron Monger when you're fighting him, or when you want to launch your ball. It makes for a cool animated effect. So every time you see that light comes on, those are the two things that you'll be able to do. So just kind of pay attention to that when I play throughout. And here, actually, there we go. You can see better. The back cabinet lighting, the RGB red, green, blue lighting in the back of the cabinet there will change for a few things. One is, as you can see here, before you start the game, you get to choose what music track you want. So, you know, by default you have the movie track, but then you can choose all these different tracks, and you'll notice the colors change. I thought that would be a really cool idea, you know, having that change color depending on what music you want. And this is your default color and music while playing the game. But when you go into any of the multi-ball modes, then the color will change depending on which multi-ball mode you are, like purple for Ironmonger, or blue for War Machine, or green for Whiplash. But then when you come out of multi-ball mode, it comes back to this color that you're selecting here. And if you choose random, it'll choose a random song and a random color every time you go into that. So we'll choose the movie score, and you gotta hit the fire button to select it.
Precisely the action.
There we go. Now we're ready to start her up, so let's put some coins in. And the strobe will fire off every time you insert coins. And let's start her up.
The suit and I are one.
So now you can see the fire button means we're ready to launch, so let's fire it off. There you go. I think that's really cool, that animated effect you get there with the repulsor. You know, I made the flashers just charge up and then go poof, you know, a nice blaster effect. I thought that was really cool. So you got your normal feedback. Solenoids are always firing off for your normal feedback, which is your flippers, slingshots, and random colors, of course. And if you go to the bumpers, you see the same thing for them. And if you have a kicker at all, you know, anything that's solenoid driven, I have feedback in for that. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do on here. One of the things you can do is basically enter any of these modes. Each of these requires something a little different. So for Ironmonger, you can either go through the orbit here, and you'll notice I have an animated effect going from left to right or right to left on the orbit. Now that we've gone through these, it's actually the spinners, not the orbit, that sets off Ironmonger if you go through them enough times. So that's what we're going to do right now.
The services are no longer required.
Oh, I thought that was really cool, you know, adding that machine gun effect there. Now, when you're in Ironmonger mode, the ramps will make a completely different effect and sound. Normally it does sort of like a flying whoosh sound with the blower fan, but while Ironmonger's up specifically, when you go through here, it does a machine gun effect from only that side. And same thing with this side as well. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. It was a little tricky for me to match those up because there's a few different variations that he plays at random. So now with Ironmonger, there's a few things. One thing you'll notice, the beacon's going off. The beacon will go off whenever you're in multi-ball mode, or whenever Ironmonger is up, or whenever you're in Jericho or bogey mode, or do or die. So here's the thing with Ironmonger. You have a magnet here. So whenever you try firing your flippers into him, sometimes he'll trap it on that magnet. Now let's see if I can get it to happen normally here. But
Defense
okay, well,
systems
I guess I sucked that there. Oh, there we go.
That's not me.
All right, that was cool. So what? I accidentally drained the ball, but the cool thing is sometimes you get a sort of a save, and it fires the ball back at Ironmonger. And then, as you saw, he trapped the ball there, and it was a malfunction that was going on. It had like a cool arcing effect going on, and the flippers were kind of going off on their own. I wasn't doing that. The game was doing that all by itself. It's kind of like a cool, suit malfunction effect. I thought that was really neat. So if you keep trying to go after him, he'll trap the ball, if you don't hit it at the right angle. And there's a few different things he does do. Now, sometimes he'll do a different one where you have to nudge it free. See, there you go again.
That's not me.
I think that's so cool. And then I put the animated arcing flashers to match the color and all that. I think that's really neat.
Oh, still, you little prick.
I was hoping he would do the other effect, like the nudging. It's totally random. So, okay. So basically, if you attack him without getting caught, sometimes he'll explode a little, sometimes he'll just grunt. Now you can see here the fire button is flashing. That means our repulsor is armed, so we can fire a blast at him. So I'm going to hit the fire button now, and we give him a good blast there. I think that's so cool. Combined with the flashers and everything, I think it's really neat. Now again, we're not in the multi-ball mode, so that's why our lighting in the back is default. All right, so now you'll notice I'm in ball roller, so that's why you'll notice the ball is not firing out because I forgot to turn off ball roller. I'm standing far back here, guys, so it's hard for me to see the message at the bottom to see if I haven't taken it off ball roller yet. So now that we're in multi-ball mode, you can see the backlighting has changed purple just for Ironmonger. All right. And there you go. Now that I've let the two balls drain, we're out of multi-ball mode. The beacon turns off, and we go back to our default blue, which was the color I selected. So now you can see Ironmonger is he's finished there. So if you hit these targets on the side, then you'll do Iron Man.
Iron Man complete.
And then there you go. That's unlocked, and that does a temporary fast scoring. So targets are worth more. Another thing you can do is, actually here, I'll also show you. When you go on these ramps, like before, instead of it being the machine gun effects, by default, it's like a... Yeah, see, you can hear the blower fan going off, and it does like an animated trail effect to match that.
If we can't protect the Earth, you can be damn well sure we'll avenge it.
And I thought that was really neat, because it's like as if he's flying by, instead of the machine gun. Now, if you do those ramps enough times, then you'll unlock bogey mode. So if I do that ramp one more time, let's get her.
Shoot the ramps.
There we go, bogey's ready. All right, so now if you can see it's flashing, so. All right, so again, beacon's going off. The backlighting changed. It's actually changed to yellow, but it blends with my wall. That's why it looks greenish. And now you can do these two ramps for jackpots.
Jackpot.
And you'll notice the flashers, when they flash with a jackpot, their colors match with the mode they're in. So in this case, because it's bogey, it's going to flash yellow. If it's Whiplash, it'll be green, and if it's a War Machine, it'll be blue. And bogey mode is just a timed mode, so it'll run out on its own.
Jackpot.
And what else we got going here? Oh yeah, we can now, if you hit these targets here, these drone targets, that's what you need to do. If you do those enough times, you'll then unlock War Machine multi-ball. Alright, so you can see there. So if we go in there, same thing as the others.
War Machine Pinball.
So now you can see it fired off another ball. It's a 2-ball multi-ball right now, and the backlighting changed to blue this time, and the beacon's going off again. So now if we hit these drones, we get that jackpot now, and you can see they flash blue to match the mode they're in. Alright, so and then now I have the double jackpots going, and it also kicked out another ball. So we can get into each of these ramps and all that to try to unlock even higher scores and everything else. And so I'll let those drain out now. Alright,
War
so
machine completed.
as again, let me get the ball there. There we go. Alright, and again, now that we're back to normal, and the lighting changed back to normal as well, and the beacon turns off. So, now you can see these 3 are completed, and drone also gets completed. So we only have one left there, which is Whiplash. And I'll point out our the mark number for our suits, mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have been updating as well. Now, it could be either by hitting these shield targets here, or I don't know what you call those. If you complete all those, it'll add your mark level up higher, but also doing Iron Man does that, and some other stuff, yeah, like I said, I can't remember all the modes, I'm trying my best, so we only have one left, which is going to be a Whiplash. So if we go up here now with Whiplash, same thing. He's got a magnet there, and he's going to trap your ball every time you try to hit his targets. Like sometimes when you go up there, he'll sort of repulse it away so that you can't get in there. So you have to hit the right angle, but then he'll trap your ball as well. So like this, see, I couldn't get in there, so he'll fire it off. But if I can get in there,
The true history of Stark name, you'll be rich.
I think that's really cool. I loved the way that effect turned out. Doing the animated white flashers and then having the strobes go off as he fires it off. And every time your magnet is held, whether it's from Whiplash or Ironmonger here, the shaker goes off in the cabinet the whole time. So it gives a nice, cool, vibrational effect. And whenever Ironmonger here rises up and down from the playfield, the gear motor will also go off during that time. Alright, so let's go in there and do his multi-ball now.
Whiplash multi-ball is ready.
Alright, there we go. Alright, so same thing here. The backlighting changed to green because that's the mode, the color I chose for him. I basically try, and the same thing, the jackpots flash to match colors where the red arrows are. Now I tried to match, as you can see here, the colors of the cards or whatever you want to call these. That's what I did for the lighting and the jackpot colors. Oh, I thought that worked out well. So now that I went back to him, again, you can see these jackpots are now available again. And I'll just let that drain out.
Back in hardware.
Alright, so we have all of these done now, you'll notice. But you also see, so since all of those are done, and we also have our suit, our mark version is now Mark 6. So that's the highest we can go. That's why it's flashing up here. So there's two things that can happen. Either Jericho mode will happen or do or die. It's going to be one or the other. I can't remember which one. And they both get activated whenever you see this red arrow flashing. Depending if it's if this is flashing up and these are not completed, then going up to this red flasher will do the Jericho mode. If all of these are done, then I think it does do or die. We'll find out which one it is.
I haven't come across anyone who's man enough to go toe-to-toe with me on my best day.
Oh yeah, it's do or die, baby, yeah. So look at that, that's a cool animated flashing effect with the backlighting also changing the match. But you gotta get this thing or you're gonna run out of time and you're not gonna do it, but, I got it. Yeah, it's so hard when I'm cheating, I know. So as you saw, the backlighting and the flashers were cycling the same color over and over and over again. I thought that was a pretty neat effect. Your score will keep going down if you don't get into that mode or time will run out. So you want to get in there as quickly as you can. Now you can see this is still flashing and that's also flashing up here, so that means that we're going to be going into Jericho mode.
For your consideration, the Jericho. The weapon you only have to fire once.
You are cleared for exfiltration over the drop zone.
Alright, so Jericho mode basically is just, think of it as like an all-in-one mode. Like, it's got all, you can pretty much do everything in one shot, non-stop. It'll just keep going until you drain out. So if I do Iron Monger here...
Oh, still, you little prick.
Yeah. Understand, I got the ball roller, so that's why it's not releasing. It's just sitting there because I'm holding the ball instead of the magnet, keeping it away from the door.
No, back home.
See, that's cool. Like, it's like he's firing back at you, and I added those animated effects there. You know, I think it works really well. Alright, let's blast him because our fire button's going. Alright, one more shot. There we go. And you saw the Jericho bonus. See, now every section you do gives you a huge bonus, like 5 million for that. Right? So now if we go into the drones, again, the idea is that you're kind of trying to do every mode in one shot here. And the beacon will just keep going because we're still in Jericho mode. One more.
Nice work.
And then if we do War Machine now, same thing, Jericho bonus. And same thing with Whiplash there. We gotta get him enough times before we get that bonus. Alright, and then we get that one, and then the same thing with the bogey. I'm not going to go through the bogey, but you know, if you go through the ramps and do the bogey mode, you'll get that jackpot as well. So I think that's the main stuff. There are extra things like, you know, the pop bumpers have their jackpots and everything else, and then, you know, there's double jackpots and super jackpots depending on what mode you're in and all that. There's just so much stuff for this. It's crazy. You know, and there's multiple ways, like I said, you can do these shield targets to unlock stuff. Now there's these targets here, they're on the side, and they're also up where the pop bumpers are. You know, so there's 6, I think there's 6 of them. So if I drained out here, then Jericho mode will end. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to nudge it.
Careful. You are
Actually, no, I'll just let it drain out. I was going to show you the tilt effect, but it won't work very well when everything's already going off and it's already red anyway. So actually, I'll just try playing like normal just for a couple minutes here, since I went through all the main modes. And of course, right off the bat, I suck. But there you go. And I know you guys can't see it on screen there, but the launch button and the start button and the coin buttons do flash when it appropriately so. I'm just gonna go through the last of the balls really quick here.
The suit's at 48%.
Fire this bad boy up. Yeah, nice blast effect. I love that. Alright, oh yeah, I forgot I was playing.
Keep going!
Alright. And there is a skill shot too. Once you launch the ball off, if you get it to the right spinner, then you'll get the skill shot for that as well.
You should direct your attention to the lit
Oh,
arrows.
we'll get Ironmonger again? I don't know. There we go. Yeah, baby. Bring it.
War Machine is lit.
Oh, we even got War Machine already unlocked. Look at that. Alright. Come on, let's get him. Alright. Ah! Just missed him. There we go. There we go.
You ripped out my targeting system.
Oh! Yeah, one more shot should do her. Ah! Come on, come on. There we go, we got him. And now we're in multi-ball mode. This is Ironmonger multi-ball mode, which is why it's all purple in the back now. And he's ready already again. He's back. This is nuts. Hey, this is crazy. This is madness. It ain't Spark. And again, like I said before, every time he raises and lowers, the gear motor goes off.
Reduced to
So I'm just gonna finish off these last 2 balls real quick here. I'll just let the time go out. But pretty cool table. You know, I find myself able to do stuff a lot quicker and easier with this. You know, after I do another DOFLinx mod for another table. I find it much easier.
power.
This one required a lot of thorough searching and testing. I just missed that skill shot. You know, but it's because there's so many modes in this table. It's so cool. And let's let this drop out now, and let's see. All right, there we go. Let's see if I get the highest score.
Jarvis, you there?
Now, this is one thing I love about Slam's tables. He always gives this option to buy an extra ball with points, because on a home system it makes no sense to insert coins for another ball, because you can push as many buttons as you want. It's not going to affect you, right? But if you give up points, that's a legitimate thing which will affect your score. So you know, that a lot of his newer games are getting extra modes like this. I think it's a really cool idea for home pinball versions of a game. So I'm gonna hit no.
Bad call.
Yeah, baby, high score.
Congratulations.
Really easy when you cheat, I know. And there we go. And it actually normally would say congratulations, high score, and I just hit the camera there. But that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration of Iron Man Ultimate Edition with my DOFLinx mod.